On the night of November 22nd, 1987, viewers in Chicago experienced something truly terrifying. It was a Sunday evening, and thousands of people were tuned in to their local broadcasts. Suddenly, their screens went black. The comforting familiarity of the nightly news was replaced by a distorted, glitching figure wearing a rubber mask. For those watching, it felt like an invasion. This wasn't a technical glitch. This was a highly sophisticated, malicious broadcast hijacking. And to this day, nearly 4 decades later, nobody knows who did it. The chaos began at exactly 9:14 p.m. on the independent TV station WGN-TV. Sports anchor Dan Rowan was giving his report on the day's Chicago Bears game, where they had defeated the Detroit Lions 30-10. Out of nowhere, the signal cut out. The screen faded to black for 15 seconds. When the image returned, it wasn't the news. It was an unidentified person wearing sunglasses and a rubber mask of Max Headroom, a popular 1980s AI television character. The figure rocked erratically back and forth in front of a piece of rotating corrugated metal. There was no voice, only a loud, aggressive buzzing sound. The intrusion lasted for about 30 seconds. Down in the WGN studios, engineers fought to regain control. They changed the frequency of their signal, linking the studio to the John Hancock Center transmitter. Dan Rowan reappeared on screen, visibly shocked, and said, "Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I." It seemed like a bizarre, one-off prank, but the hijackers weren't done. 2 hours later, at about 11:15 p.m., viewers were tuned in to the local PBS station, WTTW, watching an episode of Doctor Who called Horror of Fang Rock. Right in the middle of a scene featuring the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker, the airwaves were hijacked again. This time, it was much worse. The same masked figure appeared, but now they had audio. The voice was heavily distorted and horrifying. For 90 seconds, the intruder broadcasted complete madness to the entire city of Chicago. He mocked WGN sportscaster Chuck Swirsky, calling him a frickin' liberal. He held up a can of Pepsi, quoting the "Catch the Wave" slogan from a Coca-Cola ad. He waved around a hollowed-out rubber dildo with his middle finger stuck inside. He sang lyrics from a 1966 Temptations song and hummed the theme to a 1950s cartoon called Clutch Cargo. Down at WTTW Master Control, the staff was frantic. Air director Paul Rizzo later recalled the stress of watching the broadcast get increasingly weirder while being completely powerless. Because there were no engineers on duty at the Sears Tower broadcast antenna that late at night, technicians couldn't stop the signal. The broadcast ended with a disturbing sequence. The camera cut to the figure, partially off-screen, with his bare buttocks exposed. A woman dressed in a French maid outfit appeared and began spanking him with a fly swatter while he screamed, "Oh no, they're coming to get me!" Then, the screen faded to static, and Doctor Who returned.
As far as I can tell, a massive electric shock he died instantly.
The Federal Communications Commission and the FBI immediately launched an investigation. Taking over a broadcast signal in a major metropolitan area required extensive technical expertise and significant transmitting power. The hijackers had aimed a powerful microwave transmission directly at the broadcast towers, triggering a capture effect to overpower the station's own signal. This was a serious federal crime. If caught, the perpetrators faced a $100,000 fine and up to a year in prison. The authorities interrogated broadcast engineers, satellite technicians, and ham radio operators. Some speculated it was an inside job by a disgruntled WGN employee. Others pointed to the Chicago underground hacker community. One popular theory pointed to Eric Fournier, a punk rocker and indie filmmaker, but he passed away in 2010 without ever confirming or denying it. Another Reddit thread claimed that 2 brothers, known only as J and K, were the masterminds. However, Police investigated the brothers and eventually cleared them as suspects. In 1992, the 5-year statute of limitations expired, meaning the hijackers could no longer face criminal punishment. In 2009, television stations switched from analog to digital signals, making a hack like this almost impossible to replicate. The Max Headroom incident remains a bizarre, chilling reminder of a time when the airwaves could be stolen out of thin air. Who do you think was behind the mask? Let me know your theories in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more dark mysteries.